All right, so that's back in the SHTF garden, and going to be planting some of this winter squash. Somebody in the comment section asked what the rice was looking like. There it is now. It's about ready to plant. Show you what I've got going on. This will be a quick one. I got this piece of fence attached to this other fence. It's held on some nails and stuff down at the bottom, so that makes something that can hold the weight. Pretty big nails. I'm gonna try to put 4 along this length there. Become very large plants, but I'm hoping scaling them up will help manage them so they're not sprawled all over the ground. The other ones, since I don't only have this one piece of fence, the other ones will be sprawled on the ground over there. All right, so I've got these 4 areas dug up. Yeah, I just took the shovel here and I shoveled away the grass to kind of make a grass-free area. I'm going to use grass clippings as mulch around this that I've been letting dry out over there in the pile. You've probably seen that in another video. That way I can try to manage the weeds around the base of the plant. Once they lay on the ground and stuff, I'm not that worried about it, but hopefully they won't be on the ground as much anyways. So as far as other stuff goes, I'm going to do the butternut squash on this makeshift trellis. I've got some 12-12-12 fertilizer here. I ran out of my granular organic, and so that'll work. I have fertilizer as part of the preps. Because it's SHTF gardening, I'm not as worried about being 100% organic. I try to be when possible, but I'll use, this stuff was on sale. I got a 50-pound bag of 12-12-12 because it was open at Rural King. They were selling damaged bags. I think I paid $4 for a 50-pound bag. Another bag I got of 10-10-10, I think it was 10. It's another big bag of fertilizer, 50-pound bag I got for like $1. So those are too good a deal to pass up, regardless of organic or not. And I'm here to grow food, so I'm gonna use what I have. So 12-12-12, it's gonna go in the holes. Gonna put the plants in. I'll come back whenever you see that. All right, let's see with the planting hole. It's gonna sprinkle some of this in the bottom. And I'm mixing them with the shovel. I don't want to directly contact the roots, so I'll just kind of work that in the soil a little bit so you don't have a bunch on the roots. And then here, all right, so here's my butternut squash. I got a few different types of winter squash. That's gonna go right in here, and it's gonna fill it in, backfill it in. I can do this with one hand, right in the ground, in the yard, not in the garden bed. And that's how I plant my stuff every year, and it works really good. Right up to the stem. I'm not burying any deeper than the stem is. And that's it. That's all there is to it. As this grows larger, I'm gonna try and trellis it up this. The butternut squash trellis is pretty easy. It puts its little tendrils out, and it climbs right up stuff. I grew them up the side of fences and stuff before, so they grow pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of those in, and I'll come back. All right, so right here, get down where you can see that sign. With my butternut squash, 2 of them were actually growing together, so I just left them together, and so instead of pruning them down. So we'll see if that actually works or not, if 2 of them planted in the same hole. I don't think it'd be very large, but hopefully it'll be trellis. So this is one of my other ones. This is that Native American variety, Gete Oxamen or whatever, I can't pronounce. It was supposed to make a very large, I guess you'd call it a fruit. A very large winter squash, about 20 pounds. Yep, it's gonna be orange. And it's supposed to have been grown in the Great Lakes area for about 5,000 years, so I'm excited to try it. Yeah, exactly. I'm excited to try and taste it. It's pretty rare. I've only seen a handful of videos, like maybe 3 videos on YouTube where people are growing that. So I'm curious. I have 4 of those things, I think. And this is gonna be one of them on this makeshift trellis because I need to fill in the space since I got 2. Here, watch, show over here. See how the other 2 are growing together? They were together in the pot, so I just left them like that.
So you left it like that? You got it from that?
Yep, these are where I started them from seed. And so I got a bunch more winter squash, and I got some ones that just came up. My spaghetti squash just came up, so they'll be planted a little bit later on when they get a little bit bigger. See, watch.
That's kind of exciting.
Look from this side. See, they're small over here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. They're gonna be some of the staple crops that I'm trying to grow in my garden. So staple crops are things that give you a lot of stuff that you can build a meal around. Rice, wheat, bread, basically grains. In a garden setting, you're basically limited to potatoes and winter squash if you got the room for it. So I'm trying to expand. So I'm gonna have winter squash, various types, trying rice, amaranth, which is another grain, and sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. And we'll see what we get. So you want to ask something or say something?
Okay. Is this I already talked about that plant?
I did. That was the first one I talked about.
Oh, I thought you talked about that one.
Nope. That's
The
the last one over there. This one is one I was working from right to left.
Well, I don't know that much of garden stuff. I'm just watching gaming and other stuff.
Well, perhaps if you have taken interest to it, one of these days you'll
Like
learn.
boxing stuff, play stuff.
When I was a kid, I didn't care about gardening either, but I tell you what, I wish I knew half the stuff about gardening as a kid that I knew now. But I'd be a lot better at it, I think. All right, so that's that. We're going to move on to the next area and plant some more winter squash. All right, so I got some, just putting other ones in here as I got space every few feet along this fence so they can all sprawl out along the ground and try and keep them up against the fence so they're out of the yard. I don't have all of them labeled or anything like that. I just have the one piece of fence. So, okay, so I'm just gonna put this delicata squash right here. And that one's also got 2 in it.
I don't know if I ever tried cotton squash or no.
I've never had a delicata squash either. It's supposed to be the most delicious flavor winter squash.
But how do you know that?
Just from reading about it and watching other people's YouTube videos.
That's not true. You don't have the same exact taste buds as other people.
That's true statement. But it comes recommended and as one of the more delicious.
I don't usually like most vegetables.
I love winter squash in general, so I think I'll like it. And it's supposed to be, according to other people's opinion, delicious. And so I'm willing to give it a try.
What kind of squash is yellow?
It doesn't store as well, though. Yellow squash or summer squash. These are winter squash. These are going to make a hard
If
rind.
you cook those with flour and something else, they are so good.
We're going to do that on a different video. These are winter squash, so these are going to make as something kind of like a pumpkin, where it has a hard outside shell. Pumpkins, in fact, are a type of winter squash. And
I didn't know that.
Yep, they store
But you can eat the seeds out of it.
Exactly, you can eat the seeds out of these too. And you cut up the inside. You cut them open, and the inside's what you eat. You don't eat the rind. What you're thinking about is a summer squash, and those are actually growing over there. And
over there?
I have some over there. We'll get to those in a different video. And whenever we hopefully start harvesting off of them, they grow fast, about 45 days to.
If you get annoyed about this noise, because I just have a drink.
All right, so let's get on moving down the line. We still got some more delicata squash, buttercup squash, and these spaghetti squash are gonna have to wait till they get a little bit bigger before they come out to play. All right.